the one with the blue WHPR logo on the left. Like us. Click the word videos with the red tag that says live next to it. Then click the share button at the bottom of the video player and select start a watch party. Invite whoever you want. Your party will be recorded and archived for playback anytime you want. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. At the end of the month, the viewer that has the most people at their watch party will be invited on the TV show live. You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback,
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton, and I want you to know that the Dayboy Sheffield Center is the happiest, healthiest, and most supportive center in our community. But I also need you to know that the happiest day is the second Saturday of every month when Hood Research meets at the Dayboy Sheffield Center, 12048 Grand River on the corner of Wyoming. Our meeting begins at 2 p.m. This center is where you meet all of the important people. Join us at 2 p.m. on the second Saturday. See you there.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
You can have your own party on TV. Party with R.J. Watkins and the TV 33 family.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. Hi. We're cutting 9:30. We are all the way live right here at WHPR, WHPS, and thank you so much for tuning into Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. My name is Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, and my co-host.
Thabiti, and we welcome you to the program.
And I just need to say good morning to a few people, and that would be good morning to Rosa and Miss Farmer and Lawrence, and to Barbara and Vera, and to Sylvia and Katrina, and good grief, Don and Henry, and it's just so many. Al, who do you want to say good morning to?
Say good morning to Brother Shane, Sister Jackie. I'll see you this week. Both Sister Jackies, hello. Brother Fred, Cheryl D., Sheila Ragland. And I always ask you to have your family, friends, neighbors, co-workers to tune in, and also have pen and paper handy for information you may want to record.
That's right. And I want to say good morning to Jay, way on the east side, and to Les, way on the west side. And we have with us this morning a guest, and Richard Clay. Some of you know Richard Clay, some of you don't. So, Richard, thank you for joining us this morning, and tell our viewers, who is Richard Clay?
Okay, thank you, and good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Good morning to all of our viewing audience. I am a longtime Detroit resident activist, And coming back here, it's like coming to WHPR, it's like coming back home for me. I did a lot of shows down here in the past. I am as a former teacher for Detroit Public Schools. I'm an author of several books that I've written on our challenges and our duties. Responsibilities in terms of educating young black males. I am a life coach, I'm an activist working with many different organizations here in the city. Currently right now, People for Utilities Reform. I work with one of the focus groups that is operating out of the Charter Revision Commission to revise the charter for the city of Detroit. We have the focus group for people with disabilities, and we're trying to get an Office of Disability Affairs put into the city charter. And I do work with my own website, which is blackboysincrisis.com. So that's just a little bit of what I do.
Yeah, yes, a little bit. Man, you are busy, busy, busy. What grade levels did you teach?
I taught at Northwestern High School during most of my teaching career, and I taught primarily 10th graders. That was my grade where I was, specializing. I had some 9th and some 11th. I tried to dodge the 9th for the most part.
Oh, my goodness.
So mostly 10th and 11th graders.
Oh, wow. Now, did you find that with your 10th and 11th graders that they were easy to direct to let me start this all over again. I find that most people fall into a job or a career, and there is a test. They've changed the name of it, but I'm sure there's one on the internet that gives a person an opportunity to key in the things that they like, things they're interested in, things they may or may not have skills in. And at the end of all of that, it gives you suggestions as to what jobs or careers you might investigate to see if you would be interested.
Right.
Did you find that your students were easy to receive suggestions from you?
Yes, I think, well, when you're primarily 15-year-olds, they don't have some of them, know what they like, but they don't have a lot of career knowledge and information to really start basing their decisions off of.
Right.
So one of my jobs, I took it upon myself when I was in the classroom to always get information from the VOTEC centers, and to not only I would not only talk to my students about careers and salary projections, but I would get actual overviews of careers from the VOTEC centers, and we would actually talk about them and put them on the board and to help to give them, a little bit more direction and understanding, what some of their options and choices were, kind of open up the world, so they don't, they think like, well, let's see, basketball player, rapper, doctor, maybe, and they don't have a lot in between, So we try and fill in some of those.
Now, I'm curious, did they ever have, because I participated in one myself, but did they have career days at that grade level?
Yes.
Where you brought other people in to give details on their particular area of expertise?
Yes, we definitely had career days, and those are so important. Anyone out there in the viewing audience for school near you has career day, definitely go in and try to participate with that, because the students really like those too. They love career days, and they get a lot of information that fills in gaps for them that they don't ordinarily get to.
What about the black colleges? Did you have representatives to come or encourage students to want to go to a black college?
So what happens with the black colleges is the black colleges do send people up here. Normally they focus on certain schools. They don't get around to all of the schools. And what happens is it takes your school usually has to have a good guidance counselor or some good educator, usually someone who's working with the high school seniors, or if it's a middle school, the 8th graders sometimes, and they will take tours. They will put together tours and take the students on a trip, and they'll go and tour a couple of the black colleges. And those always work out well with students gaining interest in those institutions.
Yeah, I was involved in that. It really was a lot of fun, you know. And we went to 10 different colleges.
Okay.
And the students, wow, at first, you know, well, let's stop for pizza. You know, just what they've grown up with. Not really so interested. But once they got to the campuses and saw what they had to offer, oh, it was like, hey, I want to come here.
Right, right.
Once they heard the bands, they don't have a band up here that touches the ones in the South. Oh,
Not at all.
There was one brought here a few years back, maybe, I don't know what, 12 years or so. And they were from Florida A&M. And the students around here never saw or heard of, of such music, such performance. And a number of them were, after that, interested in, you know, in going to the school. But the information, the encouragement, the focus in on the student is beautiful. They seem to have more opportunities for counselors who care, because some the counselors up here in the colleges and the high schools, etc., too often they seem to be more concerned about their paycheck than the student.
Definitely.
But hopefully, well, they'll get better.
I think too, when the students, sometimes students hear, like they hear things about attending a black college, and they're just kind of like, the information they receive about it is not good information. And so when they can either get a representative in front of them who can tell them or show them some video, and even better, when they can go there, and like you said, they can hear those bands, and you know, and they can just see, you know, how things are done. It's more impressive to them even than when they tour traditionally white institutions, because if you've grown up in Detroit, Pontiac, Flint, Inkster for, you know, the majority of your life, and then you walk on to one of the traditionally white campuses where black students comprise maybe 2% of the population, 5%, you're in total culture shock.
Right.
And, you know, and you're almost walking around like, I don't even know if I belong here, you know. And so they have a totally different feeling when they walk on to the campus of a black institution sometimes.
Right. Yeah, and the other ones there, you're a number and income for them. The video was going to say something.
Well, one thing I'm proud to hear that when you mention that, I think about, you know, the fact that even when you mention the cities, that our children don't have that exposure to the greater world. You know, they're locked within the neighborhood they live in and the school that they happen to go to. So the exposure to black colleges, and even having a black male teacher as yourself is something that I think makes a strong impression. I'm very happy and proud about that. I considered teaching at one time, but I've kind of veered away from it. But, you know, it was something that I felt was important. Now, I wanted to ask you, well, two things. First, when you mentioned the ninth graders, you kind of laughed and you say you try to avoid them. I wanted to know what's the story behind that, because that got my attention.
Well, so part of it is me. I am so I taught social studies, and I love interaction. I always love interacting with my students and prompting them to go higher, challenging them where I could, and in every level, including their maturity level, always trying to get them to raise that. So if you think of a high school, we go from 9th to 12th. And so the ninth graders always come in, and they're just fresh out of middle school. And in many ways, you can tell, you know, Some of them are still holding on to what was going on in middle school. And so the first month, as well as trying to get the ninth graders to get used to the school, the new culture, the new friends, the new teachers, the added homework, you're just trying to, it's a lot of trying to break them in and getting them used to the new culture. And so I'll always prefer let me add the 10th graders because they already broke into the new culture.
Right.
That's 1 month that I don't have to, spend like that. So.
And they're easier to dialogue.
Much easier to dialogue with. The maturity level is a little bit more. I think the teachers feel the same, though, if you go to middle schools where it's 6 through 8. Teachers are probably like, let me add the 7th and the 8th graders, Usually the rookies going to get the 9th graders. That's kind of how it goes. Or the people who just like working with the younger,
Now, there were some other areas you had spoken about the city, and there's a group organization that's asking the city council to weigh in on a disabilities office or something. Tell us about that.
Right. So first of all, let me just say I want to make sure that as I was talking about the organizations that I'm involved with, let me just say that I'm a longtime member of the National Federation of the Blind, which I am a totally blind person. And so and my work with the National Federation of the Blind led me to one of the projects that was going on as Detroit prepares to rewrite its charter, which happens every few years or whatever. There's a big charter rewrite going on, and so I was participating in the coming up with initiatives to put into the new charter, and I found out that there was going to be efforts to create a Office of Disability Affairs within city government here in Detroit, something that they have in about a dozen or so cities, big cities around the country have one.
Okay.
We've never had one.
Yeah, wait, stop there. You are a part of the focus group for the Charter Commission?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Charter Commission, in order to get its work done, they organize themselves until they have several different focus groups to help them to get that work done and go out and write proposals and then bring it back to the Charter Commission.
Well,
so
totally volunteer.
Totally volunteer, believe me.
And they get a stipend to argue, but go ahead.
They get a stipend and they do a lot of arguing. A lot of arguing.
Oh boy. Okay. So
we've done our fair share of arguing on our focus group, but we get no stipend, no food, no lunch.
Oh Lord.
It's but it's all good though.
And so one of the things that your focus group has already written up,
yes,
is a office for disabilities to be it would be under the mayor, but go ahead.
Right. So the interesting thing is the proposal. We did a lot of research. We had people go and visit other cities. We had universities get in and assist with the research. This was not a overnight thing. I mean, we worked for months and months on this proposal, developed it, put it together, and then we took it. We presented it to the Charter Commission, the City Council, and the mayor. And there's two ways to go about it. The major way is we want to put into the charter, enshrine it to the charter, what would become city law, regardless of who's on City Council and who is the mayor. But we also we took it to the mayor and the City Council to see if the mayor would implement it. Before, because the city charter will be passed, voted on in 2021, and then it'll be ready in 2021. It'll be voted on, I believe, in 22, and then it'll be implemented around 23. So some people were like, let's go to the mayor and see, if we can impress upon him the need for this. And this office would represent everything from making sure that this city is accessible to people with disabilities. This city is avoiding major lawsuits that it always gets into with people with disabilities who don't have access or who are discriminated against in some form. And it would represent all of the various disabilities communities in terms of city services. There would be people to represent and make sure that people who are blind, deaf, physically impaired, in wheelchairs, suffering from autism, mental impairments, or any of the many, many forms of invisible disabilities would still have adequate services and access to city government affairs and buildings and things like that that sometimes go up under the, fall through the cracks.
Did you review anything that Miriam Mahaffey did?
I did not personally, but our focus group did, yes. Yes, there were some things that there were initiatives that had been done here in the city in the past. There just had never been this office created, and Lisa Franklin with Warriors on Wheels, they participated in our focus group. They had in the past, at the last charter revision, they came up and they tried to get a write-in for this type of office, but they were told that the revision had preceded. They were, it was already too far gone for them to get it in. So we were like, well, let's get it in this time. And we took it to the mayor. And at this point, we're doing pretty good at the Charter Commission. There seems to be a lot of people in favor of it. We did a lot of work. We got newspaper articles. We have town halls. We got a lot of support for it. The mayor himself, the mayor has responded and said that he supports the idea for office. City Council has passed a resolution calling for the mayor to support our proposal and fully fund it. The mayor showed up at the City Council budget. You might have heard about this. They had a kind of a hot meeting last Friday, and the mayor showed up and he had something in his budget like for Office of Disability Services. But right now where he's at with what he is proposing, he has an office about 1/10, 1/12 the size of what our research says is going to be needed to adequately serve the people with disabilities in the city of Detroit. So
he put something in the budget that he presented to council?
Yes, he had his, they're not on a full budget. The mayor went to the city council last Friday, and presented his first, I guess you could call it his rough draft of a budget. Right. And it's kind of like, the first run of it. And he did have something in there for a office for disability services, but it was a lot of people in our focus group were like, wait, we don't even recognize that from our proposal. So there's still a long way to go, we think, in terms of what we're going to be able to get and what's needed to there's something like most estimates say there's something like there's over 100,000 people with disabilities in this city. When you think about all of the people who are dealing with all of the kidney dialysis, when you factor in,
they're on every other corner.
Yeah. So I think it says 125,000 people with disabilities in this city.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that. The dialysis piece really is. Nobody is speaking up on the cause. It just seems that this year, last year, and so on, was a opportunity for doctors to increase salaries.
Yes.
And it's just too many people on dialysis. If it has to do with nutrition, then that needs to be researched. That needs to be addressed. If it's because of the over prescribing of some people taking, 10, 15, 20 pills at a time. And, of course, the reaction of those pills on each other in a person's body could cause, them to have to end up on dialysis. High blood pressure, which is not addressed properly.
Right.
But anyway, they have a dialysis unit on every other block around here. you know, it's something that definitely needs to be addressed and researched. Now, the question as far as the office, okay, if you don't get a response, are you all willing to put it on the ballot? Don't answer that. We got a caller on the phone.
Okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
I can't view y'all, but I was calling to give some good information announcements.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, tree Ashton program, trained, certified, and employed. The Greening of Detroit seeking applicants to enroll in an 8-week training program to be certified. What they call that, tree Ashton, ARTISAN.
Artisan. Artisan.
Yeah. So the phone number is 313-285-2251. 313-285-2251.
Okay.
Join the 2020 census team. They're going to have March the 11th. What's that? What day is that? Oh, that's on a Wednesday. Wednesday, March the 11th, from 1 to 3 at Butso Family. That's 7737 Kercheval. I don't see a phone number on this flyer, but they're going to have they online or, come here, and they're working with those. You can apply on site. U.S. Census recruiters will be available.
So you're saying if you want to work for the Census Bureau, there's an opportunity to apply for employment at the Butso Center on Kercheval and Van Dyke, right?
Yes, 7737 Kercheval.
7737 Kercheval at Van Dyke. And it's at what time on the 11th?
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
1 p.m. to 3 p.m. That's this coming Wednesday, March 11th.
Okay. And
what else?
One more for free tax foreclosure prevention and counseling. It's Tuesday, March the 24th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the Butso Center. I'm trying to see it's a phone number here so you know what to bring.
Okay.
They're going to have on-site counselors for those who are in tax stress, delinquency. The number is 313-236-3528, 313-236-3528, and call so you know what to bring, because United Housing Coalition, Neighborhood Services, they're going to work with those that are in distress.
Okay. So if someone is afraid of their home being foreclosed, they can get assistance, right? At the Butso Family Center on Kercheval and Van Dyke, and give the date again.
Homeowner Property Tax Assistance Program, formerly known as Poverty Tax Exemption. So come on down. The phone number is 313-236-3528. And that's at the Butso 7737 Kercheval.
And the date again.
4 to 7 p.m. at Butso Family Center, Tuesday, March the 24th, 7737 Kercheval.
Okay.
Homeowners and tenants, any stage of foreclosure or tax delinquency, strongly encouraged to attend.
Okay.
Get down there, people.
Yes, very good.
Get down there.
I've got a follow-up slide. So what was the first one was for, I believe you said artisan. I got the phone number. I just want to give it. I'm sorry?
Yeah, the tree artisan. Thank you for helping me explain it. Yeah, and it's trained, certified, employed, and it's 8 weeks training program. And you call that number to get scheduled, because they have different schedules for the different parts of the training.
Now, artisan, does that have to do with like skilled trades, or I'm just curious because I just want to be sure?
Yeah, it's the Greening of Detroit, so they're it's dealing with the trees, outdoor, CPR, first aid, hour safety training, landscape, technical certificate, financial literacy, readiness training, and you can earn a stipend up to $800.
Oh, that's a
Okay,
nice
well,
stipend.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to pass the
Don't even
drug test,
argue. Right?
screening and physical.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's good. And you got that phone number, too.
Registration
Yes.
information on Monday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So get that number and find out about the Greening of Detroit, trained, certified, employed, certified landscape technician, and the other one is the tree artisan program.
Right. Okay. That's wonderful. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing
Okay.
that information.
I love y'all.
Right. Right.
Okay.
All right. And now the question we left off. Then you're going to answer.
Okay, so yes, we are prepared because, I mean, we really felt that we presented a proposal for a full office. We were told the mayor had this proposal for, I guess you could say, some disability service. So we tried to negotiate. We took our proposal, trimmed it down everywhere that we could. We presented, you know, kind of like a negotiated counter proposal. Like, okay, well, here, take a look at this. Here, we'll put in just the very necessary positions and services, try and get this office jump started. Maybe we can build it out later.
Right.
The mayor went back to the budget with his same original proposal and said, you know, yeah, this is what your office could look like, and we'll build it out later. And his proposal had basically 2 positions in it. It's like a 2-position office inside of another office, and we're like, you know, there's 125,000 people in the city that this office needs to serve. If we're going to put 2 people over there to serve them, you know, what are we doing? Are we just doing this here on paper or in name, or are we really trying to address some problems and services? And that's one thing that we don't want to do is and get people to believe that we're going to address access, employment, transportation, and then have some big old thing and, you know, 1 or 2 people get some jobs, but then we don't really address any services.
Right.
So we're not going to, you know, I mean, the mayor can do whatever he wants to do. You know how that goes. But we're going to continue to, number one, fight to get it into the charter, which we'll put it on the ballot, because the charter commission once they finish with the new city, all their recommendations for the new charter, that charter goes on the ballot and gets voted up or down. Right.
What about ARC? What services do they offer? You familiar with ARC?
You know, I am familiar with ARC, but I know 1 or 2 of the people that work over there, but I don't know a lot about ARC. I do know that one of the ARC's representatives has come over and been active in our focus group at times. So they have been represented, and they definitely support the creation of an office for disability affairs in the city.
Right.
Because it's trying to draw all of something that will be an umbrella for all of the disability groups.
Right. There had been a office in the city, and if I remember right, Diane Bukowski used to work there for civil rights. The city had that office, but over time it has been discontinued.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Wasn't discontinued. The name and title and acronym for that office continues to change. Right now, that office is called Civil Rights Inclusion and Operations or something, CRIO, CRIO. And we want the Office of Disability Affairs to be as independent as possible. We would prefer to put it either under the Office of City Charter or to just put it in the city government and make it totally independent, almost like the Inspector General or the Auditor General's office is. In the mayor's proposal, what he has done is he has proposed putting it inside of CRIO, the Civil Rights Office.
Okay.
And some of what the Office for Disability Affairs needs to do, would be civil rights related, but some of it actually has absolutely nothing to do with civil rights,
right,
you know.
you.
So, you know, I mean, we want to make sure that people who are autistic or people who are hard of hearing have access to the services that they need. They might not have been discriminated against. Their civil rights might not have been violated at all. But just the fact of making sure that they have access to ASL, sign language interpreters or something like that. You know, we're like, well, what does that have to do with?
Even if they go to the city council meeting.
Exactly.
They want to know.
Right. We don't want to accuse city council of violating their civil rights. We just want city council to have interpreters there, you know, when they come there. So we didn't see like the connection between this office and being in civil rights. We wanted independence for the office, but I'm pretty sure, you know, for a new office, there's some budget things you want to be worried about. But again, you know, to put it inside another office and then, you know, have one or two people working there, it seemed almost more like, you know, not a real, you know, it's like you're not really taking this serious, you know.
Right.
You know, most cities our size have offices that range anywhere from 12 to 25 people working in them.
Now, is this, would you say, from the research you've done on other cities, because you say they've already have these programs implemented, number one, I guess, I know you guys pretty much follow the guidelines or whatever the platform or whatever the foundation or blueprint that they started is something that you introduced to the city council as well as the charter commission and the mayor. So I'm wondering, that's pretty much the scope that you work within, and your attempt is just to try to get these other entities involved. Now, you say the mayor can do what he wants, and we kind of know how that goes. Now, how does this charter commission seems to be kind of on board with it? Now, how do you find the response from the city council?
Okay, so the city council's response was very favorable. Like I said, anybody can call them and get a copy of the city council resolution on this matter. They voted and passed a resolution. It passed unanimously, and they called for the creation of an Office of Disability Affairs. And you know, we have a form of government that's a strong mayoralship. The council can, and it was a non-binding resolution, but it was still a resolution that was strongly worded, called for the mayor to create this office and to, quote unquote, fully fund said office.
How many employees did you recommend in your proposal?
So I love it. Y'all are asking all of the key questions. I'm getting right down to the brass tacks. So we propose in our original proposal, we propose that there be 20 employees in the office. But in our second proposal, which was a negotiated proposal, we proposed that there would be 5 full-time employees and 4 part-time employees, which gets you down to, you can call it 9 or you can call it 7. Okay. We still received a response of 1 to 2. So I don't know. I guess
you're
say
familiar
2.
with RED, or where RED has a new name now? What the heck is it? Policy something or other. Somebody's always trying to change the name of a department or group. But RED was research and development.
Yes.
It still exists, just has a new name. How many employees are there? They serve the 9-member city council board.
Okay, yeah. And so I don't know how many are in. There's people within our focus group who know that, but I don't.
Well, the only reason I asked that question is because the mayor and maybe some councilman would bring up, you want to have 20 employees, but you've narrowed it down to 9. But we only have, I don't know, X number, I don't know how many are there. I think it was like 4 or 5 at one time. Don't know how many they have now. But I'm sure they're going to compare your request to the other departments and the staff in those other departments, and use that against your request. That's why I was asking that.
Well, the main thing I think what was stated in the mayor's presentation Friday was that the budget is just tight. And so, they're going to use that regardless of what you say. The budget is tight. There's just not a lot of room, and we're just going to squeeze this right here into it. And yes, you're right. Then the next thing they'll do is they'll say, well, this department started out and it has this many people and so on and so forth. But the point that if you're going to look at our research, clearly there really is not another department in the city that is equivalent to what this department is in its creation that would do the type of thing that this department will be asked to do. I mean, like RAD goes and does research, and it's got I mean, no matter how many researches you do, I mean, it's like a two-way operation. It's doing research, and then it's plopping it on the desk of this 9-member board. It does not have to interact with thousands of people, and then it be the intermediary between those thousands of people and the city government, city attorneys. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's no comparison at all for this office between what this office would do and any other standing office.
I got you. Well, the ombudsman does not have 20, and I'm not saying there's anything
bad
I know
exactly
about that.
right.
What I'm bringing it up for is it would be used against you.
Right.
That's all. Only reason I bring that up.
Definitely.
The BD had another question.
Well, actually, I wanted to go in another direction. I'm not sure how long we'll be able to have this, good brother, but there's something that you mentioned you're involved in, the Black Boys in Crisis. That really means something to me because of how many of our young men are caught up in the criminal justice system. And, I don't know if the statistic is 1 in 3 or 1 in 4, either on probation, parole, or have some paper on them. So I'd just like to get, if you can, an overview of what is Black Boys in Crisis and what are the efforts to try to get them out of crisis, basically.
Yeah. So just like you mentioned, the numbers are, the statistics involving our young men, they are frightening, they are terrible, and they have been for a while. I'm definitely not the first to hit on this subject. Big props out to Brother Jawanja Kanjufu, who wrote Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys, and he wrote that in the mid-'80s. It was a bestseller in the mid-'80s. And I started writing my books in the mid-2000s. So it's just that we haven't been able to do a lot as a community to begin to resolve the issues and the challenges confronting our young men. And so Black Boys in Crisis, what I did was to combine all of the different things, because I was doing a lot of work. When I left the classroom, I became a consultant, and I started going back into the classroom and trying to train our teachers. And then I was doing work trying to train our parents how to do a better job both on the raising and the educating side with our young men. And so what I did was I put together this website, blackboysincrisis.com. And there I centralized all of the efforts that I was doing with the efforts of other people. There we have information, we have articles, my books are there. People can read excerpts, many, not like just a page. They can read a lot of excerpts from my books. They can purchase my books. They can read many articles. We post all types of articles from people who've done the latest research on addressing the black male crisis. But even further than that, as the years went by, I said, look, I want blackboysincrisis.com to become like an institution. And I've had it since 2008. And now it's a Black history resource. It's a resource for teachers. We put all types of resources up there for teachers, parents, that are all free. We have a video library that has all the master teachers up there, from Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, Dr. Claude Anderson, all of the master teachers, they're all up there with videos that people can access, learn from, study. Dr. Kunjufu is all up there, trying to make it a one-stop shop where you can get all this information. Plus, when the kids come home, not just the boys, the girls also, when they come home and say, we don't have any homework to do, we have the parents go on there. We have all types of educational activities. We have an activity resource where they can play educational games, puzzles. They can look up stuff for their science experiments and all of that.
Oh, that's great. We want to talk about the 3 books that you wrote and how people can get to them as well. But first, I want to say that I was in a meeting this past Friday, and I was talking about the need in our community as it relates to education. And in the school system, somebody in this plot, it seems like it's a plot to me, took out phonics. Phonics has worked for generations.
Sure did.
And now they all of a sudden have taken it out.
Right.
Cursive. That's been taught for generations. All of a sudden they've taken it out.
Right.
We have computers, so why do we need to know how to write? The dumbest thing I ever heard. You have to sign when you get your driver's license or your state ID. So now I guess they want you to put an X down. And the other 2 things, child development was taught in the classroom.
Right.
That seems to have been
I took child development when I was in school, high school.
In there for decades. And then the last thing is government. People don't understand the importance of learning about the process and the impact of politics and government and how it controls your life and how you need to get involved with it, you know. So we were talking about some possibility or something that we could do. What we want to do is make it out front. I mean, in your face. This is what we need. You need to fight to have those things in the classroom.
Definitely.
Because as the little ones, and now all of a sudden we got this test that's supposed to be taken. If the children don't pass the 3rd grade reading test, they're held back. You know what happens if they're held back? Now what you're doing is creating bullies, you know?
Yes.
They don't want to be the biggest and oldest kid in the 3rd grade, and everybody else is going on to the 4th grade. What kind of test is it going to be? You know, is it going to be a fair test, a test they would understand? There are tests that are given that our children in our community don't understand because they don't have that kind of culture. You know?
Right.
So we were discussing ideas, and Hood Research is having a meeting this coming Saturday at the Dabo Center, which is located on Grand River, Wyoming. And from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock is when we meet. So we want to talk about that kind of concern this coming Saturday, and we're hoping that you might find some open time to come and join us. But the video, want to say something about that?
Well, one of the things, brother, that you were saying, and it makes me think, like you said, you were able to have, I forgot the class that Theo mentioned that you said that you were participating in, but it makes me reflect on many of the classes I took, and then we were speaking earlier, you and Theo were discussing how the historically black colleges and universities and exposing the children to that. I look at the curriculum, the lack of curriculum now in terms of the cursive writing, food. I had commercial foods and some of those things. But the point that I'm making, and you can expound on this, is that when I was exposed to those type of things, it gave me a broader perspective of what my potentials could be. You know, we do have the academics, which we're going to have the science, the math, the English. You know, those are all requisites that you have to have in order to be able to graduate. But I thought about how all these extra classes like wood shop, metal shop, and all those wonderful things were a part of it. And when I look at the boys in crisis,
auto mechanics.
yeah. So when I look at when we talk about children in crisis, I'm gonna say young men and young women who are in crisis, if they're not exposed to anything outside of the academics, then it's a dull experience because you don't get a chance to see what your creative side can do. And I know that those classes were resourceful, at least in my life, and I'm sure in the lives of a lot of others, they were resourceful because once you go out into the world, you have a greater or broader perspective of things that can be done. So now I don't know if the Black Boys in Crisis has or addressed it. Like you said, there's a lot of literature, and I remember a book by Hakeem Madhubuti where I believe it was called Black Teenagers, Obsolete and Dangerous. That's kind of a paraphrasing of the title, but it kind of shined a light on how young men are not brought up with these tools that they need, similar to what you're saying with Kwanzaa Kunjufu, who address that. They're not brought up with these extra skills or tools that they need so that they can figure out how do they fit into the future, what is their future going to be like, and how they can fit into the future of society. So did or does Black Boys in Crisis kind of help give direction or let's say a broader viewpoint on options that young men and young women can take upon themselves?
Yeah, to the best that we can with a website. We try to get the parents and the students to understand that there are a lot of options out there. There are a lot of colleges, a lot of scholarships. There are a lot of career possibilities. We try to point them towards the type of tests like Theo was talking about that will help them to evaluate what their strengths and likes and weaknesses and that type of thing are. So we try to give direction on that. Some of that, of course, has to come through person-on-person contact, so we do a lot of workshops. I try and get to as many schools as I can and do workshops and stuff for the young people. But here's the thing. What you just said, you were listing, just things that are so critical to a young person's development and their educational development. Because, like, if you think about it, decades ago, if young people were just told you're being educated to graduate from high school and you will either go to college or you will do nothing. You will go and get a fast food level job. Imagine how many lives that would have changed from people who went on to do so many different things. And that's basically what's happening with the educational system today, because there is no commercial foods, there is no wood shop, there's no wood shop classroom in your basic high school. There's no auto mechanics anymore in your basic high school, whereas young men used to come out of high school with skills to go and get a job from day one.
Yep.
And so now what the school says is, well, if they want to do that, if they want to pick up those types of things, they can go over for a half a day in their 11th or 12th grade year. They can go over to the Votex Center and learn the vocational skills and things like that. But so many students, this is why in my social studies class, whether it was government, econ, U.S. history, whatever they gave me, I took 2 days to go over Votex and vocational offerings that were at the Votex centers, which it wasn't in my lesson plan, it wasn't in my curriculum guide or anything, but I knew it had to be done because you got people who will graduate or not graduate and not even know that stuff exists over at the Votex Center that might be all the way on the other side of the town or the city.
Right. We have a caller.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Hi, this is Tawana Morris, and I'm viewing you on my Rabbit Ears TV.
Your rabbit ears, okay. Happy Monday. Thanks for calling.
Nah, guess what? Rabbit Ears is all right. Sometimes we have to be like the same coat for birds. Our young people don't even know the things that we knew back in elementary, kindergarten. They need to have that. We sometimes we need to back up a little bit. Everything is going so fast. No sooner they out the womb, they in the school. Our young people, in order to be more stable, need to enjoy life.
Right.
Let a child be a child. And when they get ready, give them all the basics. I remember when we used to have the kindergarten where the kids learned how to play house and pretend like they cooking. And then when they get into grade school, they actually begin how to make biscuits, how to make and etiquette and stuff. Those things our young people don't even know about anymore.
Right.
And we enjoyed going to school,
right,
drawing and making the paper mache stuff or hats for Easter out of paper plates. You know, we learned the basics.
Right.
We need to get back to the basics and wrap it with going forward. Wrap it around the new industry stuff. But don't forget, let them enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Those are the kind of things that made them enjoy going to school.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you knew you had a good when the lunch program started. That was excellent for these young people. We knew that they had a balanced meal.
Right.
We have to look to our children. Well, I'm old enough now to say we need to look to our children.
Right.
And give them the basics. And it's hard with a one head of household family, or is just one parent. Yes, it's hard. But we as a community can wrap our arms around. We got all these government entities. They're studying, trying to keep the money in their pocket instead of using the money what it's for.
Right.
So I'm going to hang up and listen, and I'm enjoying everything.
Oh, thank you.
She made some very important points.
And it is so wonderful.
Setting a foundation for young people is so important. We're talking about trying to teach young people the basics, getting them to like school. And they're talking about you better get them ready in the first and second grade, because if they don't pass the test in the third grade, we're failing them. I mean, like every time it seems like we're making steps forward, they want to, some comes along to try to kick us a couple steps back, and we have to really fight against and oppose that third grade test and get it knocked out.
That's right. And we have an opportunity to go and help tutor the kids in school to help them read. We have somebody on the line.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us?
This is Jerry. I just want to tell y'all, Bill McConaughey, the chief judge of 36th District, is over there attacking. Oh, my goodness.
Attacking, you say? Hello?
He's attacking Agnes Hitchcock, telling her she ain't done nothing, never done nothing. Oh, he's letting her have it. Somebody must have got to him and told him to get to her. Oh, boy.
That's going on right now? Hello? Oh, wow. Wow, okay. We are going to take a station ID break. And for those of you who have called in or are watching, please call and let your family and friends know. They can call 868-4336. It's 313 area code 868-4336. 868-4336. And we will be back momentarily. Okay. Oh.
Park, Detroit. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
.7.3 FM, WVIE.
How would you like for this to be you? Well, it could be. If you have the desire to be an independent radio personality, paying yourself, this is your chance. WVIE 107.3 FM and WHPR 88.1 FM are looking for people with outgoing personalities who can attract sponsors. Launch your career on a radio station with the latest technology in broadcasting. WVIE 107.3 and WHPR 88.1. If you're into talk, R&B, oldies, jazz, gospel, or soca, Radio We Can See is where you need to be.
88.1 FM, WHPR.
Have your own radio show. Block time is available. Call 313-868-6612. Radio We Can See, broadcasting live in the Virgin Islands and Detroit. Find us on Comcast Channel 90 and worldwide on Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV, and all of your favorite platforms. Thank you for watching our Comcast cable lineup between 7 a.m. and 12 noon. To continue watching your favorite shows on TV 33, download our app, WHPR TV Now, or get your favorite programming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on Roku, Fire Stick, iPhone, and Alexa. Tune in when we're broadcasting live on Channel 15.2, and afternoon, watch us on all of your favorite devices. And if you'd like to have your own show, block time is available. Not only can you listen, you can watch. 107.3 WVIE, Virgin Islands. Have your own show and be seen and heard in the Virgin Islands, Detroit, and worldwide. RadioWeCanSee.com, a Watkins Broadcasting Company. Block time is available. Call now, 313-868-6612.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback,
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton, and I want you to know that the Davo Sheffield Center is the happiest, healthiest, and most supportive center in our community. But I also need you to know that the happiest day is the second Saturday of every month when Hood Research meets at the Davo Sheffield Center, 12048 Grand River on the corner of Wyoming. Our meeting begins at 2 p.m. This center is where you meet all of the important people. Join us at 2 p.m. on the second Saturday. See you there.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
You can have
Feedback. Can fade that out. And we are back. Thank you so much for staying tuned to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. Vote no, vote no, vote no.
No.
On the DIA proposal. DIA stands for Detroit Institute of Arts. Years ago, almost 10 years ago, we were told that if we agreed to a millage, at the end of 10 years, we would not have to pay a millage again, and our taxes would be reduced. It's now time for our taxes to be reduced. Therefore, vote no on the DIA millage request that's going to be on the ballot. Vote no. Tomorrow is the election day. If you want to go and vote today, you have to go to a satellite location. But tomorrow, you go to your regular polling site, your regular voting site. That's tomorrow, Tuesday. Be sure to take somebody with you. Encourage others to go vote. Tell them, hey, let's go vote and then go to lunch, or let's go vote and then go to dinner. And be sure to exercise your right and responsibility to pick the candidate of your choice in the Democratic Party for the opportunity to remove the current president.
And if I can, I'd like to list, since Theo mentioned these satellite locations, I want to give you the address of each satellite location according to your district. So if you decide, which I'm going to do today so I don't have to do it tomorrow, you definitely get it
right
out
now.
the way.
Yeah.
Do it. So if you're in District 1, you can go to the Wayne County Community College District Northwest Campus, which is located at 8200 West Outer Drive. Again, that's the Northwest Campus at 8200 West Outer Drive near the Southfield Service Drive. If you're in District 2, you can go to the Northwest Activity Center, which is located at 18100 Myers Road, that's near Curtis. Again, that's District 2 Northwest Activity Center, 18100 Myers Road. If you're in District 3, you can go to Farwell Recreation Center, located at 2711 East Outer Drive. Again, for District 3 residents, you can go to Farwell Recreation Center, located at 2711 East Outer Drive. If you're in District 4, you can go to the Wayne County Community College Eastern Campus, which is located at 5901 Connor Street. Again, that's the Eastern Campus of Wayne Community College, 5901 Connor Street for District 4.
It's across from the city airport, now called Coleman A. Young International Airport.
Keep that in mind.
That's a landmark, you know.
District 5, you can go to the Department of Elections, which is located at 2978 West Grand Boulevard. That's across from the Fisher Building. Again, the Department of Elections, 2978 West Grand Boulevard for District 5. You can also go to the Detroit City Clerk's office, which is at 2 Woodward Avenue, Suite 200, which is the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center. That's for District 5. District 6 can go to the Wayne County Community College downtown campus, which is located at 1001 West 4th Street. Again, that's 1001 West 4th Street for District 6 residents. And finally, the District 7 residents can go to the Adams Butzel Recreation Complex, which is located at 10500 Linden Street. Again, for District 7 residents, Adams Butzel Recreation Complex at 10500 Linden Street. Now, the hours are from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., so make it a point to get your souls to the polls.
Excellent, excellent. Now, we wanted to have you mention the books that you have written, names, and how people can obtain them.
Okay, so of course we used to do bookstores, and you know what happened to the bookstores.
Yeah.
You can check one of the books they have on Amazon.com. They may have them as bookstores if you are looking, but mainly the books are available at blackboysincrisis.com.
Okay.
You can get the text version or order the print versions of the books. One of the books is entitled Addressing Black Youth's Self-Esteem Crisis. A second book is entitled Testimonies of Our Sons. It is a book where I basically interview young men who were high schoolers, and just let them flow freestyle and give their take on girls, teachers, school, the law, prisons, you know, and how they felt about all of that, and how they felt they fit in this educational system.
Okay.
And then there is my my largest book and really my main piece of work, which is entitled "Raised Wrong, Educated Worse: Addressing the Troubled Behavior of Our Sons." And this, I can remember I was in Washington, D.C., and I was sitting on a panel with Jawanza Kunjufu, and we were both talking about these issues related to young black males, and Jawanza Kunjufu put out a copy of my book. And said, you know, this is the book. All of y'all got my book, but this is the next book that y'all should have. And I like to pass out, you know, like, man, for real.
To be acknowledged.
Dr. Kunjufu, yeah.
To be acknowledged by him. That was wonderful. Give the name of that book again.
That one is Raised Wrong, Educated Worse: Addressing the Troubled Behavior of Our Sons.
Okay, and it's available?
Yes.
Where?
It's available, like I said, you can get it on Amazon, or you can get it on my site at blackboysincrisis.com.
Gotcha.
And I have to ask you, I only got the first part, for the first book, Addressing Black Youth, I believe you said?
Addressing Black Youth's Self-Esteem Crisis.
Okay, that's
yeah, and in that book, I definitely deal with both our young black males and our young black females.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make a note of that, and I want other people, because sometimes we'll have you repeat something twice, just like a phone number, to make sure that people got it. And I'm a writer, so I'm always trying to make sure I cross all T's and dot all I's. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm also the type of person, because I'm an activist. If people really want to contact me, they can contact me at the phone number of 313-247-3301.
Okay. Again.
313-247-3301. If you want to try to get those books, if you have a student who maybe needs life coaching, or maybe you need it yourself, or if you are working at a school or educational institution where you think that we might be able to do some workshops that might help your student base or your teacher base out.
Okay.
Now, time is always, but we get a good 16 minutes. So I wanted to ask you if you could give an overview of People for Utilities Reform.
Okay. So People for Utilities Reform is a group that I started to, it appeared to me that the regentrification of the city of Detroit was mainly being done through the use of utilities. People who were not able to, who were struggling to pay their rent, Section 8 applications were being opened up in nearby cities, but hardly ever opened up in Detroit. So and people were automatically being shuffled out of the city and moved around.
Right.
Lights and gas, DTE has been operating, ever since they were given the ability to run both the lights and the gas services, they were basically given almost the power of God to take a family and put that family back into the Stone Age, where they have no lights, no gas, and then the Child Protective Services can come in at any time and take the children out of that home. In about 2014, after hundreds of years being here, somehow they created something called a water drainage fee. And it took the utility that was the lowest price and made it almost one of the highest price utilities. We used to pay water once every 3 months, and they made it once a month.
Yep.
And it went astronomically higher than it used to. And then they came with the smart meters. And when they put the smart meters in, all of the utilities went up. So I was taking a look at this, and I was like, we need utility reform, and we need it bad. We need it ASAP, and one of the main things that we need something that says that DTE cannot cut off both the lights and gas in a home where there's a living family, not at the same time. And so to fight for these types of things, there were other groups out there that were doing the work of water, that were doing, there's a lot of groups out there. We weren't trying to step on any toes. We were trying to lend a hand in the efforts, and plus to put a new emphasis, new vigor, and new spin on it, adding the new utilities that they're using, the blight tickets that they're using, tickets and fines all over this city. And then, of course, there came the tax issue. And so we're like, well, I mean, the taxes function as a utility. And so we're just like, we can't allow ourselves to be moved out of the city or reduced by the use of utilities. Everybody knows we got to pay utilities in order to survive. We're not trying to get out of that, but we need utility reform in this city. And so this is something to try and help build and lend to that movement of people who are out there, the folks like Michigan Welfare Rights, the Water Brigade, the People's Water Board, who are already working on these issues. We're like, let's combine it. Let's combine it all, put it out here in a platform so that people can understand that while this is a city where there are a lot of poor people, people sometimes try and play it off like this is a city where people just don't want to pay their utilities, and that's not the case.
Do you have meetings, regular meetings, or?
Yes, we have meetings, and we have been we've been working. Lately, we've been doing a lot of work on the tax issue because we put together some recommendations to go for the tax issue, and so we've been working with the overassessment of taxes, which, part of what we've done, like, we try to contribute sometimes where in an area where the contributions are not coming. So people are, you have a lot of groups that are right now, they're working, and their groups are working on tax credits. Some groups are working on to get money paid back to people who should have money paid back. Our contribution on this tax issue has been to get people to try and see the bigger picture. Like, the newspaper article threw out a figure of $600 million in overassessment of taxes. We went and got the other studies that show that from 2005 to 2015, the city sold thousands and thousands of properties through the land bank in these bundles to giant landlord corporations. That's how this city became flipped from a home ownership city to a renter city, where the most of us are now renting. Right. And so when we looked at that and the fact that most of the landlords, the corporate landlords who bought these bundles, 100, 200, 300 houses at a time, they kept the best houses, profiteered off of those, let the other ones fall into disrepair and go back into foreclosure. So we're looking at, like, the $600 million in assessments is a drop in the bucket. It's all of the homes that were stolen. It's the water drainage fees, the blight fees that have been piled up on all of that. It's the selling off, the robbing of so many people's properties, in which the property sometimes is worth more than the money.
Absolutely. Do you have a meeting coming soon?
What I would say, if people that want to know about our meetings, because we kind of change them around,
I got you.
For our to meet the schedule of the. We have a few people doing the work, and to meet that, so people just give me a call if you want to help out with People for Utilities Reform. We definitely need the help.
Okay, and the telephone number is?
313-247-3301.
Again?
313-247-3301.
Okay.
And I hope that our listeners and viewers will take this into account, because unfortunately, all of us are affected by that. If you live within the boundaries of the city of Detroit, you or a family member, it's it's critical and it's a crisis at the same time that we can't play the sidelines when we need to be on the field.
Right.
We can't be spectators to our own demise. So I hope that you brothers and sisters, and just, keep in mind, if this brother's wearing a lot of hats, Theo wears a lot of hats. I wear one or two. But just to say, we got a lot of things that are going on that, we can't put out every fire, but you got to be present at one of these fires to be able to do something. There was a march on King Cole Market. Some of you were out there for that. We have to be engaged in what's going on. And I have to applaud you, brother, because I know you've been at this for years. Your names come up at so many different venues, meetings, and other things. And of course, Theo, Agnes Hitchcock, there's so many warriors out there.
Right.
But even though we're all warriors, but we have to, whatever our role is, play it. So I just want to congratulate you on what you're doing, brother, because what you do makes me stronger in my convictions of saying that, something has to be done. We're not going to allow this. I think the Panthers even had a slogan they used, one of many, which was seize the time.
That's
and
right.
The time is now. It's not yesterday, because if you don't do something today, tomorrow's not looking good at all.
That's right. That is so true.
Amen. Now say amen.
If you all had, I don't know if you have any time left.
About 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to say something on the education piece. One more thing. Dr. Vitti, the DPS school superintendent, he was on a radio program recently. Someone called in and asked him about African-centered education. And he began to talk about how they're implementing African-centered education again, is the way he put it, at one of the schools. I believe it's called Malcolm X. I won't even say it's Malcolm X, and it's got another Paul Ropes and Malcolm X, I think it is. And then he talked about how they're beginning to implement it at another school. And I was able to get through and call and make the point to Dr. Vitti that, number one, the VOTEC centers are great, but we want vocational classes, at least the main basic ones, put back into all of the high schools. There is just absolutely no reason why there should not be a sewing class, a foods class, some basic stuff, elective classes in each and every one of our high schools. A student should not have to go all the way across town on a bus somewhere to take a foods class and learn how to cook or sew a button on a shirt. It's utterly ridiculous. But more importantly, I made the point to him that African-centered education, we did not have a school or a couple of schools that were African-centered education. Detroit Public Schools, the one super positive thing that this district had going for it is that warriors and warrioresses had fought to make this a African-centered school district. And I told him that there's no way that you ever reclaim, even get back to the point where this district was, because emergency management took us 10 steps back. However poor people think this district is or was, they took it 10 steps back through mismanaging it and taking more stuff out of it when they took it over to emergency management. And so if you're going to get it back and then move it forward, you have to restore the African-centered education paradigm to this district. And he agreed with me, but he said, I got to get 2 schools first, and then 3 schools, 4 schools. And this is the problem. It goes almost like back what I was saying earlier about the mayor with the Office for Disabilities. Everybody gives us not only the incremental approach, but it's like, hold on, let us give you 1 micron first, and then we'll get you a second micron. And it's just like, nah, man, just do it. Just declare it, start teaching it, and take us back where they took us from, because our students were making promise, we're making progress under the African-centered education paradigm. Emergency management came in, took it away, wiped it out. They actually threw away a lot of books. Who throws away books?
What?
They threw away books and curriculum information, and they knew what they were doing. And we got to get that back, because people fought long and hard. The Kwame Kenyattas, Tahira Ahmeds, Baba Victor Gibsons, Helen Moores, and even some national people, Dr. Clifford Watson. People have passed and gone on, and we're fighting for African-centered education, and we're going to continue that fight.
You mentioned some heavyweight names there, brother, and I remember when Tahira Ahmed had her own program on the Public African World View. I've got a lot of tapes of that. You know, one of the things that Theo and I discussed too, just in our travels, is how, like you said, going to a vocational tech center in order to pick up this skill or that skill. But what Theo and I had discussed was the fact that you have to be transported to and brought back. That's maybe an hour and a half journey round trip when you add it all together. That's school time that is lost while you're in transport. So your idea of making it a part, you know, even the basics, like you say, having some of the basics in-house at in all particular schools, then you don't lose that travel time, because if you're, I don't know what's, well, we got a caller. Let's get this in real quick. Okay. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
My name is Jay, and I'm calling. I'm watching you on 15-2.
Oh, thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, about these property taxes. I just called the people, and I thought they said that they could take the interest rate off of it. That the governor signed a bill, and they said you still got to pay all the interest.
What?
So I don't understand what they talking about when they say that she signed a bill saying that you don't have to pay the interest on your taxes.
Well, we're going to have to get some. I just
called them, and they told me you still got to pay the interest.
It's called the Pay-As-You-Stay program, and supposedly if you get into it, they just signed a bill where if you get into it, you agree to pay a certain amount per month, and they will not charge the interest on the money that used to build up so much. And you're supposed to get a lower payment, and after a while, your taxes are supposed to come down.
Yeah, they said $115 a month. But I asked her, I said, so when they take the interest off? She said no.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Well, we're going to have to get some additional clarification on that. You can call the governor's office. They got a constituent services person. But call Lance and call the office and ask them to clarify for you. And we too will call to get some additional information and clarification, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. We are now at the end of this wonderful conversation. I have been enjoying all of the variety of subjects that we have covered.
Me too.
But I want everyone to know that Hood Research is meeting this coming Saturday, which is March the 14th. We meet on the second Saturday of each and every month. The location is the Dabo Center, which is on Grand River and Wyoming. I believe there are two buildings, and the parking lot's in between. We're going to be at 12,000 Grand River, Dabo Center, this coming Saturday, March 14th. Time, 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. We also will have a gentleman by the name of Bob Cozy telling us about the Legacy Museum, which is located in Montgomery, Alabama, and what has been erected for our benefit. And as they say, never forget, never again. And the Legacy Museum is one of the things that we will have presented this coming Saturday. One of the reasons Hood Research meets from 2 until 6 is because there's a variety of information and speakers, lecturers, dialogue that goes on, and we get a lot of feedback. Funny the name of this show. From those who participate to tell us how much they enjoy attending our meetings. We also are expecting to present a appreciation certificate to some people who in this community who have just out of the goodness of their heart and compassion for the people in the community reached out and done what they could to make things better. So this Saturday, 2 p.m., Dabo Center, Grand River, Wyoming. We want to see your face in the place. And remember, Hood Research has a website, hoodresearch.org, and the email is contact@hoodresearch.org. Contact@hoodresearch.org. And the telephone number is area code 248-234-2371. Again, the telephone number for Hood Research is 248-234-2371. Tabidi?
As I always say, number one, make sure you vote tomorrow. Also, make sure you participate in the census. And as I always say, if you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you're finished.
And remember, it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. And join Hood Research as we seek out as much information as we can to help us all make better informed decisions. And tune in again next week. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you. Richard Clay. Okay.
Man, we covered a lot of ground, didn't we?
He just coming back now. And remember this website, blackboysincrisis.com. And we want to again thank our guest, Richard Clay, for just a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you.
Oh, yes. All righty. So we're looking forward to you being with us this Saturday at the Dabo Center, Grand River and Wyoming. And tune in again next week. All of you. Peace. Okay. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinda.
Inviting